Hello everybody, welcome back to WineupTV. I'm your host Wayne, and on the show today we have Franklin Dahl from Campuget. And when we come back, he's going to tell you all about his family property. It's very historic. You're going to like this. See you in a second. All right, guys, welcome back. Franklin, thanks for coming all the way from France just to see me.
Thank you. My pleasure.
I'm very humbled. I am very humbled. I just expected you to bring some more foie gras and some escargot, but that's okay. It's not here.
I will come back.
You come back?
Yeah.
Perfect. You have a really cool story. You know, it seems like, you know, being from France, you have such a history. You know, you can go all the way back to your great-grandparents procuring this property. But I had seen a little video that your father had put out during World War II, that one tree. And that's called the Freedom Tree?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Just a quick little ditty. Tell us a little bit about that.
In fact, Campuget during the Second World War was occupied by the German soldiers and Austrian soldiers. And so we think that's at the end of the war, almost at the end of the war, some spies told to the American army that we were occupied and we needed some help. And so one day my grandfather was walking in a small road in Campuget, and suddenly an American plane came and shot at him, and because the guy thought that my grandfather was a German soldier. Mm-hmm. And so my grandfather had a few seconds just to hide himself behind a tree. And this is this tree that we call today the Freedom Tree, because if you put this tree under an X-ray system, you will find some American bullets.
That's amazing.
And yeah, it's a crazy story. It's a beautiful story. And you know, since after this story, we always heard from my grandparents who've been through this very terrible period that we have to never forget that some young people came in Campuget just to give us some freedom. And this is one thing that we will never forget. And each time we try to explain people this tree, and through this tree we have a lot of things to think about.
What a sacred tree on your property. That must be a pretty cool thing. And guys, I'll give you the link, and you can see this little video that his father put together. It's very cool. All right, so let's talk about your wines.
Yeah.
Campuget.
Yep.
All estate fruit.
Yep.
And how many acres roughly?
So 320 acres for the vineyard.
Okay, it's 320 acres planted with Viognier, Syrah, Marsanne, Roussanne.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
And Grenache.
And Grenache.
Yes.
All Rhone varietals, obviously. Yep. All right. So, and the thing that really stands out about these wines is they're very affordable, and that's the cool thing. All right. So let's start off. First of all, you're a trained attorney by trade. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of youngsters, you know, grew up on a farm, got the heck out, went to Paris, worked, but you always had that longing to come back. You know, I think, I don't want to say country boy, because I don't know if that's correct, but you grow up in a small town, and then all of a sudden you want big town. You go to big town, and all of a sudden I want small town again.
The thing is that, you know, I was born in Campuget, I grew up there, and I often say that I have Campuget in my blood.
So in other words,
when I drink it and when I think about it.
When you fell down on your bike when you were a kid and you cut yourself, that blood was actually in Campuget.
Absolutely.
So you had the blood there in the soil. Okay, gotcha.
Exactly. So yeah, it makes things, you know, in your mind and in your mood very special. And on top of that, continuing an adventure that my grandfather started is something that makes my days great, and this is what I like to do.
I think that's wonderful. You know, I worked at Mondavi for several years in the mid-90s, and I had gotten to know Michael and his kid Rob, and then of course Tim's son Carlo Mondavi, and they're now doing a project called Continuum, and it's just following in your family's footsteps, and to be able to be in that position to do it must be a really honorable thing, and to really understand where you came from and your history and your lineage.
It's a great thing. It's again, I think I do it today because it was stronger than anything. It was stronger than a big contract in Paris. It was stronger than any big pressure I could have. It was stronger than any big business. I like it. I can't explain it. It's somewhere here in my brain, in my heart. I don't know, but I love it. And working on Campuget today after my father, after my grandfather, gives some sense to my life. And seriously, I love it very much.
I think that's fantastic. All right, so let's talk about these wines. First of all, the first wine we're going to have here is the Viognier.
Yep.
And again, where your property is, you've been very fortunate the last 5 or 6 vintages. You know, pretty consistent, nothing too up and down. It's just 2008, you know, was a challenging vintage, but 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 were all pretty.
Yeah, we have been very lucky. You know, we have in Campuget, in this southern part of France, at the end of the Rhone Valley, just before the Mediterranean Sea, we have a very classic Mediterranean weather, and it means that we can have beautiful weather if you are lucky, and you have such a dry weather condition and absolutely perfect to grow a vineyard. And sometimes you can have very bad, but the last 5, 6 years have been absolutely fantastic.
Sure.
So again, we have to touch wood. I don't know which one.
No, but it's true though. You know that X factor every year, guys. It's the weather, and you just never know. You know, here in Oregon, you know, we've had our ups and downs, and I think being a winemaker, the challenging vintages to them are the ones that aren't consistent. You know, it makes you be as good as you can be with the fruit that nature's given you when you have those difficulties. And that's the cool thing, I think, about being a winemaker. Like 2012, I mean, Oregon Pinots last year that are being released now are just phenomenal. They look like Syrahs. They're huge, they're inky, they're just very, very beautiful, aromatically and structure-wise. And it was an easy vintage to make wine. The wines just kind of make themselves, as opposed to, hey man, you know, we got to sort extra special, we have to thin out our fruit. I mean, there's a lot of X factors in there.
I think that there is one thing very important is that, as you said, you have some winemaker vintage, and a winemaker is a great winemaker when he's able, even if the weather is bad, to keep the identity of one family, of one estate in the bottle, whatever the weather condition is. To keep the identity is something very difficult because, you know, I know what I want in my bottle. And I know how to make it, but Mother Nature sometimes is stronger than me. So the
all
idea
the time is stronger than you.
Yeah. So it's very it's great when you are able to match your identity with Mother Nature, and to be able to keep your identity.
Sure.
And that's the very big deal, of course, and especially during the difficult vintages.
Sure. All right. So tell me about we're drinking the 2012 Viognier.
Yeah, it's a 2012 Viognier. The name is called 1753, Campuget 1753. Named like this because my mother found an old document in March 12 years ago, and it's an old document dated from March 1753. And so far, this is the oldest document mentioning a vineyard in Campuget.
See, they have this kind of history back in France. We don't have that kind of history in America, especially on the West Coast. It just doesn't go back that far, which is very cool. This is classic Viognier.
Yeah, this is a classic Viognier where we try to make an elegant and complex Viognier, not too floral, not too heavy, something that will match with the food. We do a short aging in oak, just 3-4 months, and only used oak. 1/3 is coming from Corsica. 1/3 is coming from Chateau De Campuget, and 1/3 is coming from Condrieu-Guigal.
He's got that Chateau De Campuget right there. He's got that. I knew he'd got a tunnel going right to Chateau De Campuget, right?
We have some special relationship.
Good.
You never know.
that is awesome. That is awesome. All right, so you know, you Chardonnay drinkers out there, Sauvignon Blanc drinkers out there, try Viognier. It's really, really wonderful. This is delicious. It's got good acidity. It's got nice length to it. It's just a really nice wine. And the neat thing about it, $15 a bottle. You know, and you don't have to spend a fortune to have a really, really good classic Viognier. Okay, so the difference between this and then the Blanc, very cool.
So the second white is called Tradition Blanc. It's a blend, so it's a classic Rhone blend. we try to make it as a wine that you can enjoy every day with many kind of food or by itself. You know, when you think about white wine, you never think automatically to Rhone white wine. But once you've tasted a Rhone wine blend, then you will come back to, because it's easy to drink.
It is. It's not horribly complex on the palate, but it's a really forward, fruit-driven wine. Marsanne, a little Roussanne, Grenache Blanc.
Yeah. It's and you have a lot of Roussanne actually.
Yeah, Roussanne, 60% Roussanne, 30% Grenache Blanc, which is a very interesting grape, and of course Marsanne, 10%,
and a drop of Viognier.
Just a drop. You gotta have a little drop, just for the respecting of that.
A chef will never tell all the truth, you know.
That's true. And again, a little better value. I don't know if it's better or not. $10.99 a bottle. Retail on the shelf, $14.99 a bottle retail on the shelf. So again, nothing's over $15 to get you into a nice French wine. All right, let's go red.
Yeah.
Because you know it's wintertime still, even though you can't tell. Look how it's. Have you ever been to Portland?
Yeah, I've been.
Okay, great beers here too, by the way.
Yeah,
you know, our beer scene.
Well, you know, my grandfather was making beer, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Very cool. This weather this winter here has been so dry and so nice. You have that vortex, a winter vortex coming down on the eastern part of America. But here it's just been foggy and blue skies, no snow up in the mountains, which sucks. It's the middle of January. We need more moisture.
Okay.
Definitely. But we wanted to make sure it was nice and sunny when you came to town, so that's good. All right, this one here, the first red, Campuget de Syrah. And I like how Americanized, you know, the French have become on some of the labels. You know, obviously we don't speak too much French over here, but you know, Syrah. Also, like the Burgundian producer now putting Pinot Noir on the bottles that they're bringing over on some of the introductory level wines, which is good.
So here we have 100% Syrah. So I call it a strange Syrah because, you know, it's a pure Syrah. It is unoaked. You don't have any residual. You don't have 15.5. We don't add any sugar in it. You just have exactly what I've tasted when I was in the vineyard. And you know, when you have to, as you said and mentioned earlier, you have to go in the vineyard and to crush the berries in your mouth just to check that the maturity is perfect. And this is really what I wanted to have with this wine, is to be able to enjoy here in Portland or anywhere else in the world, but today in Portland, exactly what I tasted in 2009 when I was in the vineyard. This is the spirit of the Syrah when you don't touch it.
This is very nice. And this is the 2009 vintage, yeah?
Yeah.
It's just fruit. It's not pushed either way with oak. There's no co-fermenting in here with Viognier.
No.
It's just fermented Syrah grapes.
That's it.
And it's good. It's got a nice lengthy finish. It's got some nice tannins, some good acid to it. It's screaming steak. It's screaming some protein. But it's a very, very well made, structured wine. All right, let's do the last one now. The Chateau De Campuget.
So you know, we've tasted for the white, the Viognier, and the tradition, and we have exactly the same spirit on the red. We have the 1753 Syrah, and then we have a classic Rhone blend. It is not named as a Côte du Rhône because we are in the French appellation system, so it's a Costia de Nîmes. So Costia de Nîmes is, even for French people, sometimes it's difficult to pronounce, so it's very unfair for foreigners, but there is a way not to forget the name Costia de Nîmes, is to think about denim. Denim.
Ah.
The textile you have today has been created in Nîmes, and that's why it's named a denim.
I didn't know that.
Now you know it.
All right, well, Clothing 101 has just been concluded. It's interesting, you know, the history of everything, you know, whether it's wine or fabric or all that good stuff. So this one right here, a blend, 65 Syrah, Grenache Noir, 30%, and Mourvèdre, 5%. Again, on the shelf, about $11 a bottle. Just a really nice, everyday drinking wine. You know, which goes to show you, you don't need to spend a ton of money to have a really nice bottle of wine. And what's nice about these, buy them by the 6-pack. You know, put them down, let them age. I don't think these will have a lot of years on them. This 9 right here, I'd say another 3 or 4, maybe 5 years. It's got good acid, good fruit structure. This is a little bit less acidic, but it's really, really nice. It's got a really nice floral characteristics to it, and it's got a really nice mouthfeel. And that's what you want to judge your wines by. How good they smell and how they feel in your mouth. You know, it's very, very important. Well, this has been kind of cool, man. Thank you very much for coming.
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, merci, merci. Franklin, I wish you well on your travels. Enjoy the States while you're here. Where else are you going?
I fly out to San Francisco for a few days, and then I will go to Denver.
Very nice.
Yep.
Go Seahawks. Denver Broncos, man. They're going down! Down, baby! And they're having that game way over in, what, New York? And there's Super Bowl tickets are going to go from like $15,000 a piece to $10,000 a piece because who in New York cares about the Super Bowl this year? Anyway, guys, thank you very much for coming, watching, and Franklin here. Check out his wines. Great guy, great family, and safe travels to you, my friend. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.